Well, thank you very much, Stephanie and Rebecca. I'm excited to be here. Thank you for thinking of me. And I'm thrilled to talk about YouTube because if you're talking about social media, YouTube definitely needs to be a part of that. It is a network, a social network, and a search engine all rolled up into one. So we'll talk into detail about how you as a small business can take advantage of it. So if we're ready, I will go ahead and take over. Then, Stephanie, if you're good to go. All right. Perfect. Thank you very much. Let me go ahead and switch here to sharing. And when I do that, we are going to go to the presentation slides. There we go. If you want the slides that I'm using today and the handout, you can find that at this QR code right now, or you can also go to bit.ly/Maria Coaches. Now you should be good to see everything there and you don't have to log in to do that. I am just double checking though, because sometimes, it gets a little crazy and things don't save correctly, but it's all there, and it's also the link is working, so anyone with the link can download that if you'd like to see the handouts in there as well as get today's slides. Also, make sure you can find the chat box because I do customize every session that I do for the audience, and the only way I can do that is if you comment in the chat box, because that's where I can listen to you. That's the only place I can hear you. Okay, so your mics are off, but that is where I do like to keep this highly valuable to you. Now, I also like to answer questions as we go through and get started, but do know as I answer questions that if it takes more than one sentence for you to write, then please either copy or save that to the end, because it may not have started to be a longer question, but then it got longer as you were writing. If you want to copy and save that to the end or ask that in the Q&A section, that would be the best. So we'll save that to the end. When it is over a sentence long, then it takes me about a minute to read it, and all you see is the top of my head. It's not a great learning experience for everybody. Okay, so if we can make a deal on that, make sure you find that chat box. It's important for you to do this. And I love that I already see Cindy and Monette in here and Brenda as well. Perfect. I love that. And I always love networking at any given time. This is who I am. Of course, I do come from a small business background. I've been 18 plus years, actually, it's more like 20 plus years now in small business. 15 of those years have been in international e-commerce. So I know the digital space and digital marketing backwards and forwards. I actually earned the Texas Governor's Excellence in Small Business Award. But I also was found by Google 6 years ago when they needed somebody who had experience in actually running a business plus implementing everything that's learned and utilizing the tools to be able to make the most of it and really preserve cash flow, because everything that I'm talking about today, every single thing is 100% free. I am not selling Google to you at all. We know as small businesses that Google is the #1 search engine in the world. That is a given. Because we know that, it's important for us and it's on us to learn how we can show up and be more visible in that search engine, because it is where people go when they want to know, go, do, or buy. So knowing that, if you want to connect with me, you are welcome to. If you are tagging or sharing anything on any of your stories or your tweets, feel free to do that. Connect with me. I'm happy to give you a little extra exposure by also searching and sharing that and posting and retweeting or putting it in my stories. Yes, thank you, Brenda. Thank you for the congrats. So YouTube, we know this is where people are, all right? 2 billion monthly users and 1 billion hours per day. Take that all in. 1 billion hours per day. That's not views, that's hours. It totally does dominate the video platforms, even though there's amazing ones out there, right? I know TikToks, love them. There's also Instagram stories, reels, lives, Facebook. I mean, there's just so many different video. Even Pinterest has vertical form video now. So you see all of that, but YouTube still does get the biggest reach. It's also where people go when they want to discover fresh information or if they want to do research on brands. If they're looking to make a purchase, they are going to go there first and get some reviews, box openings. They're going to get walkthroughs. They're going to look at all the specifics and even try to see the manual online. No joke, it is not anything that is generational. It is a way and a shift we communicate. Even my 87-year-old father, he and my mom got a new refrigerator and he went straight online to YouTube to see the manual, the operating manual for it. So he is used to doing that. So we'll talk today about creating your YouTube channel. create and add videos to your channel. So if you've created a channel, let me know in the chat box if you already have a channel, because we'll cover some things on how to optimize and maximize that visibility. Understand if people don't know it exists, they cannot go see it. And then we're also going to take a little deeper dive into YouTube Shorts. If you don't know what Shorts is, if you've not used Shorts, or you've been wondering how can I make the most of Shorts, you'll get that answer here today. And then how you can promote your business with video ads. Now, that, as far as doing a video ad, would have to be paid, but there are different aspects of video ads that you can use for free. Plus, as you're making decisions, I do want to give you some good information that you need to help you make those best decisions so that you get the most return from your actual video ads. So we'll do that at the very end, but I want to focus on everything that is organic at the very first. Now, do understand if you want to copy and paste, if you left a long question there, there's no way that I can read that, but I will definitely look at it afterwards, okay? Just because it's, again, it takes a little bit. I wish I was just a speed reader, but I'm not, okay? All right, everybody, let's go ahead in and talk about creating your YouTube channel. Oh, I tried to say that too fast, okay? So first you're going to actually sign in. So when you go to youtube.com, you'll sign in. Once you sign in, then you'll be given the opportunity to either create a channel up here at the very top where you see that first actual channel arrow go. And then also there'll be another spot. YouTube, as well as any Google tool, usually gives you several places where you have the opportunity to actually connect here and use it. And why would you want to do this? All right, why would it be important for you? Know that only 26% of businesses have a YouTube strategy. YouTube is the #2 search engine in the world. Google is #1, YouTube's #2. It is definitely a place where you need to know how to be visible because people use it as a search engine. Yes, people go into TikTok search, but let me give you a little bit of context. TikTok shows and plays 1 billion videos a day. 1 billion. YouTube Shorts, this is just YouTube Shorts, this isn't even YouTube long form, does 50 billion shorts a day. 50 billion to TikTok's 1 billion. And it shows up in search results. So that's a big thing to remember on why you want to include this in your actual marketing strategy as a small business. So now once you've created your channel, you can customize that channel. You can upload video that you've already created there. You can also go live if you want to do that too. You do have access to YouTube Studio when you go there, which gives you a great opportunity to access everything. Do know that having a YouTube account is 100% free. With a free personal Gmail account, you have access to it. You do not have to have any paid account or paid workspace account. It is 100% free. So as you customize your channel, you see you have the opportunity to look at the layout here and really to do a video spotlight. This is where a lot of people who have a YouTube channel don't actually optimize it. So they don't use the featured video at the beginning. And you actually have 2 featured videos that you could put there at the top. #1 is to do a featured video to entice people to subscribe. You want them to follow you so they'll see every new thing that you're posting about, every new video or short. Make sure you're really telling them what they can expect too. So that's really what that featured video does, that first one. It is known as the trailer video, and just like it's named, it's like a little movie trailer on what they can expect to get from connecting with you. Why should they save their valuable notification time and energy on you and hit that bell if they don't know what you're going to get? Then the second one is welcoming them. So once you have one that's there for people that have not subscribed, you put another video that will show up when they've subscribed to thank them, to really thank them and let them know that you really do value them as subscribers and what they will get from you. So what's the benefit for them? You really need to answer the WIIFM. What's in it for them? So as you see here, you have the video spotlight. I love that also. Yes, everybody drop your links if you have a channel. So make sure you're using the video spotlight and the featured sections. And the featured sections you can actually customize. So this is where you can actually create playlists. Playlists are a great way that a lot of people don't know to really make their YouTube channel SEO rich, search engine Boy, I tried to say that too fast. Let's slow that down. Search engine optimization rich, which means that the search engine, when it sees it, Google, Bing, whatever search engine you use, it sees it, it can read it. And if it can read it and feels confident that your information is correct, now it can give you in results when somebody is looking for your product, service, or solution. So being able to optimize it with playlists, which actually are playlists that you put together about topics that people are looking for your product, service, or solution with, or that they ask, or that would be helpful in your customer's decision journey, is what you're in charge of doing and outlining. It is our job, and the responsibility lies solely on us as small businesses to become experts and be experts on our customers. So you can customize those specifically. As you customize that, you also have a chance to brand it. Now, when I say branding, you are looking for brand consistency. It is the very basic step of building trust, right? There's a lot of information out there, a lot of sites, and a lot of videos to look at. But as you start building brand consistency builds trust. If I can see that it's your profile pic or your logo on X, on Meta, so on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on Pinterest, if it's all you, and I see that now also on your YouTube channel, I now have confidence that I found the right place and not just some random trying to make sure that they are looking like you or trying to get their information for any reason. There is confidence in that brand consistency. You can also update that banner image to help you give some good visibility to your actual channel and to your brand. You now have the opportunity to fill in the basic info. Well, if you don't have one, Nandish, this will help you from doing any bad habits, because I see a lot of bad habits out there which have now taught the search engine and YouTube search that that's not good information. So now they have to recover from that to really show, listen, I'm behaving now and I've optimized it and I'm using it in the right way that the search engine and people who are looking for your information can find you. So you can look at your channel name and handle and description and update and make sure that is there and correct. You can also put your channel URL link. So this is your website link, any of your social links you can put there too. But let me give you a little of expert YouTube advice. When you use those links, understand that link, for example, that you can customize, the very top one. Let me bring that presentation slide back. The very top one is your website URL. So definitely drop your website URL there. But don't just leave the text, the default text that says website there, and then your URL. Call it something else. What do people look for you for? Um, real estate, real estate solutions, real estate advisor, everything to real estate in Corpus Christi. You can change that text from being website to something more search engine friendly. Yes, website is good, but it doesn't mean that if I'm looking for commercial property in Corpus Christi, that you're going to stand out any more than somebody who is doing crochet, because you both are using website. But if you put commercial property, commercial South Texas, property in South Texas, if you put any of that, that will help you be more visible for really what somebody would actually be searching for you with or for. So as you see here, the banner image, you can customize that, giving that good brand consistency that we've been talking about. You can update that profile picture, but remember, you are going to get bored with your profile picture and your colors and your banner before everybody even has a chance to see it, okay? So look at that consistency. It's important to do that, not just to keep changing things out unless that's a part of your actual brand, to just be spontaneous and sporadic. You can also see the video spotlight here too. So you see that opportunity here where he's spotlighting a certain video. You can do that in addition to your trailer. So take a look at those and make sure you've enabled them, because a lot of people I see don't enable it. So you just go to their YouTube channel and you just see a list of videos. Not exciting at all and not interesting, unless that happens to just be something that I want to know something with that. You know, I have a tie or something where I have an interest. So you see how these videos are grouped into sections. That's what I was mentioning earlier. See how this is what's known as a playlist. So look at that second playlist, because by default, you are going to have all the videos that you upload into one actual list like this. And they're truly, if you're looking at them, they look like books on a bookshelf. So as you look here, DIY Build and Furniture, he has the opportunity, as do you, to absolutely customize that. So it could be commercial property reviews in Corpus Christi. You enable the ability to use those customized sections. That's what you're going to do, Cindy. You're going to enable that ability to use those custom sections so you can come up with these nice playlists and not just use the default, because the default is not optimizing you in the search engine. This is actually optimizing and customizing for the information that your customer or prospect needs in their decision journey. Okay, so in this instance, he knows a lot of people do search for DIY build and furniture, and he wants to make it easier for him to be seen at the top of their search. That's what you want to do, because if they have to scroll to find you, they're not going to scroll. They're just going to work with whoever's at the top. So you do need to match as well as you can and show up high in search. Now you can also create and add videos to your channel. But before I do that, if there's any questions at all, do just like what Cindy did and ask your questions there, because I want to be helpful to you. This is your time to work on your business instead of in your business. And I will go forward with the creating and adding videos to your channel. But if you have questions, use that chat box. Now you have some decisions to make as you're making video. Are you going to use a studio, or are you going to use your phone? Which is amazing because our phones are like full studios in and of themselves. But you need to really decide, what's your brand image? What's the brand tone that you have? And what will match it better? Is it better to do highly production focused so it's very crisp and clean? Or is it better to do something that's on the fly, immediate, gives them behind the scenes, that kind of that exclusive look that you can give them? Which one is it? So definitely, you want to take a look at this. How does copyright what work? Give me a little bit more details, Nandish, because copyright's a big conversation, okay? Let me know, and I'm happy to answer your question. So as we look through here, you need to know, are you going to do it with a studio, or are you going to do it on a phone? And I encourage you to do all of this in planning before you actually start filming. The reason being is because if you try to do this every single time and you're deciding every single time, you're using a lot of your creative mind towards that decision when you can systemize all of this. So a system is an acronym for save yourself significant time, energy, and money. And that's very important for you to have a system in place, because that's what it does. So your video, is it, what story do you want it to tell? What's the purpose? What does success look like if people consume or look at your video? How are you going to measure that? And who's the star of the video? Is it you? Is it your website? Is it your business? Is it the brand? Is it a product? Is it a customer? Is it an employee? Who are the stars of that? You need to really know ahead of time. Video on your journals. Yeah, video on your journals. Think about that. What is it like when you start thinking about a journal, when you're designing it? Where do you get your inspiration from? Where is it? How is it that you became involved in the journal business? What was it that you saw that either inspired you, or was a solution that you saw was missing that you became involved with journals? Really give them that behind the scenes insider look so that they can get to know you better and feel that they have a connection and an understanding that maybe you can be of help to them as well. Okay, so as you look here with these video concepts, you can do a lot of different things here, and I'll show you these different story types, but there is one that I want you to commit to memory right now, because it's the one that will serve you best if you ever get into a pinch where you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do with this video. Once you know who the star is of the video and how you want to use the video, because you only have so much time, unless you're doing a complete how-to or walkthrough, people don't like watching too much long form video. What I recommend that you do often is that you break it up into shorter segments that are like 5 to 6 minutes. If you're doing a walkthrough, especially, 5 to 6 minutes is a lot. Shorts are really a lot at 60 seconds. So people try to keep it even shorter. And if you think about that, reels are getting a little bit longer now. Stories are about, I think you can do about 90 seconds in stories, but it's still trying to keep it pretty succinct. So if we can break it up into chapters, because if COVID taught us anything, it did teach us that we can go to Netflix and we can just think episodically and go to whatever episode we want. So it's very frustrating when we have a 20-minute video and we can't find out that one little thing that we want. It's much better if we break it up, and now people can find out exactly where to see it, and they can share that portion with their circle of influence, getting you more visibility. So make it episodical and break it out for them. All right, let's see. If I create a video and then someone downloads it, okay, understand that if it takes more than a sentence to write, just because it's just like people reading the top of my head, so save that for the end. I will definitely answer or ask it in Q&A so you don't lose track of it, and I'll answer then. All right? Thank you, Cindy. So the story I want you to learn is the Once Upon a Time. So it's the 5-year-old storyline, all right? Because I'm going to tell it to you right now. Hi, my name is Elena Duron. I am an insurance agent and I can help you with property and casualty insurance. I can help you save if you're insuring your recreational vehicles, your home, and I can take care of all your insurance needs to make sure you're protected. You can reach me at 555-1212. I see a lot of people use videos that way. Or you can get into what's that Once Upon a Time, the 5-year-old storyline, which is 8-year-old me hears a knock on the door, and it's a family that is coming to thank my father, who's an insurance agent, because their house had burnt down. And had it not been for him valuing and being able to put everything and protect everything, they would have lost much more than just their household belongings. So they were so grateful. And it was at that moment when I saw somebody in need with such gratitude towards my father that I felt like I knew my calling. I wanted to help people when they were in need, and I can help you insure your family and your property. My name is Elena Duron, 555-1212. Do you see the difference of what happened there? The 5-year-old storyline is once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after. Once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after. Once upon a time, I was 8 years old and there was a knock on the door. Suddenly, this family came to the door and they were telling my father that they were appreciative of him about the fire that burned down their house. Luckily, Dad had taken care of that. And happily ever after, it was something that sparked the dream for me to take care of families. We are now in an emotional level, but there are certain story psychology structures that just happened in there. First of all, a adult does not want to be told that they're going to be told a story. While our children love it, an adult does not want to hear the words, I'm going to tell you a story. We immediately go to the back of our brain and fall asleep. Oh my God, it's going to be like the summer vacation photos. We don't want to hear it. So you've got to drop them into the action right then and there. 8 years old, there's a knock on my door. Brought you right there. You'll see that in movies. You see that in TV shows that draw you in. They put you in the action right away. You have no context. You're just dropped in right there. But now they are walking in your shoes. And really the purpose of the story is so they can see themselves as opposed to you getting to tell some story about your background. Okay? It's really about being able to relate with them. So that's why you use it. Once upon a time, suddenly, luckily, happily ever after, but you don't say it out loud. You just use those as your guidepost as you craft a story. Now you can also do the business story here too. So the business story is who you are, what you do, and why you do it. So you can also outline that. But remember what I said about adult storytelling. Bring them into the action. Don't start laying out the context or you will lose the attention. And once you've lost attention, it's tough to get back. You can even do a product or service story. So where the product or service is a star. So now it's seen and you can explain the benefits of it. And you really can go into the details of what's in it for them and what do they get. Or it could be something that's announcements. All right. So it could be very focused on a promotion or offer that you have going on. Those are the types of story types, but the most important thing is to make sure it's very clear and concise. Know exactly when somebody views your video, what emotion do you want them to have? Do you want them to be excited, elated, inspired, motivated, scared, concerned, worried, angry, or what? What is it for you? What's that story supposed to do? And after they watch the video, what do they need to do next? What would success look like for you if they watch that video and you'll go, I'm glad I made that video. What is it that they need to do? You need to have that specifically outlined because not only do you have to capture their attention, you need to know exactly where you're sending and wanting that attention and what you want them to experience. And then what the next thing is to do. You need to lay out that call to action. It is not because we are all don't know what to do next. It's because we're busy and inundated with 12,600 other messages every given day. And we need that clear, concise, what happens next. Now you can produce in several different ways as well. You guys have seen this, selfies, backdrops, you can do all of this. I think we're all pretty well versed that you can even do top down, where you're looking top down at something. So you're really kind of giving that point of view as if you're looking down, or you can point and shoot, or even say that there's text and you're doing voiceover. So you can even do that kind of production where it's a still photo or a graphic or even text coming out and do it that way. There are lots of tips there. If you look at that bottom corner at the left, those are the tips that you can go to with Google on the best different stories that you can do. And I'm gonna, let me see, share this out. Okay, some reason my chat box came undone. Let me bring it back here. There we go. I can't for some reason. Oh, it's not letting me reply. There we go. There it is. It's just not in my view. But again, if you want a copy of today's slide, so if you don't want to quit, you don't want to have to keep screen sharing everything or screenshotting everything, now you have that right there if you want today's slides and a copy of the handout too. You do need to take a look at your space. I'm going to go quickly through this part, but feel free to stop me if you have any questions. Let me know. Remember, if it's a sentence long question, save it for the end, okay, or put it into Q&A. But if you have any space, look behind you, know what the camera actually picks up, because it can either help and assist your reputation, or it could be a total negative, or even shocking to some people what they'll see in the background. Lighting also, natural lighting is best, but if it's not that good, like for me, I'm in a corner of a room in my actual house, and because of that, the window's way over there. It's far from me. So I've got two Lume Cube lights looking at me, or else you just see shadows, and it's not a good experience for everybody when they just see shadows. You also have to look and see if your face is shadowed, and then sound. This is the one which is the make or break. While people will be very forgiving of you talking in the dark shadows, if the sound is cutting out, if it's crackly, if it's too loud, too echoey, and too painful, they'll go on. They will not even waste their time with that. So sound is everything, and you need to really know this if you need an external mic, or if you need something better, maybe even some acoustic things that'll limit the acoustics in the place that you're actually recording, okay? Now, if you need music or sound effects with your free YouTube account, you have the ability to go to an audio library where you can use any of these audios as background, and you're not going to get a copyright ding whatsoever, okay? Now, when you do upload your video, this is what it looks like when you upload, and I don't know that we've got it right here in the slides, so I do want to do a quick walkthrough. When you're uploading a video, it will give you a chance to put a description. You might even create a template, so it's a default description that shows up every single time. It's kind of that boilerplate, and then you can customize that top paragraph. That'll save you some time too, especially if you always ask them to subscribe or become a part of your free community, or put your bio paragraph in there, or share anything. Now you could put that in the template if you want, so it shows up every time you upload a video. You customize the title, put the front part, you'll upload your thumbnail. You have the opportunity to say if it's just for kids or not. Understand, if it's just for kids, there's a whole other slew of requirements that you're going to have to fulfill. Most small businesses I know are not doing something just for kids, unless, for example, you're selling, something to where you maybe Sesame Street, where it's just for kids. Now you're going to have the chance to either put a card inside or an ending card at the end that directs them to a website, and then the copyright review will come up, and the copyright review will let you know if you're playing or including something in there, either a picture, a logo, or some music in the background that has been dinged for copyright infringement or is seen as copyright infringement, and then you will get that notification. If you don't get that notification, then you still go on and you'll have a chance to decide some things about your actual video and when it shows up and how it shows up, and we'll show that in just a few moments. So let me go ahead and bring this back up again. So when you upload your video, this is what it looks like, right? You can go live or you can upload. You'll now put that title, what I was talking about, that description, and now you have a chance at the thumbnail. You have a chance to select that too. You can go ahead and bring your subtitles in if you want to add subtitles and end screen. which is what you'll show at the end screen if you want people to go somewhere. But do know that whenever you upload a video onto YouTube, there will be suggested videos that you cannot remove. And then also cards, whether or not you want cards. Those are things that pop up during your video, during the video play, that show them like a specific site or maybe a specific product. The video checks here, as you see, they're coming through. That's what it looks like, what I was describing. Once you've passed all the visibility checks, the video checks, sorry, I just saw that visibility Y come off there. And it's supposed to be visibility and schedule. You can decide whether or not this will be a private video, which means that somebody has to be logged into their Google account to see it. They cannot view it without being logged into the Google account that you sent it to, that you invited them to see it. So if they have another Google account and they try to look at it, but you invited them on their other one, that's not going to work. It does keep it very private. Many times I'll use unlisted just because it gives everybody the opportunity to see it, no matter how they access and their Google account, as long as they're part of a group that we're with, or maybe it's a Discord server, or it's maybe a Twitter group, or maybe some Instagram, my group of people that I connect with on Instagram. If I'm sending it just out to them, then they'll be able to see it just because they have the link. They don't have to log into any of their Google accounts. And you can also schedule it. Once it's scheduled, you'll see all these links come up for you, giving you the opportunity to share it in other places, and it's already optimized for you to go right there through using any of these links. If you want to use Facebook, WhatsApp, however you want to send it out and share it. But now let's get into shorts, right? Because I know somebody must have questions about shorts. Is anybody interested in hearing shorts? And anybody use shorts right now? I'd love to know in the chat box. Because as I said, 50 billion views daily of YouTube shorts compared to TikTok's 1 billion. 50 billion. Perfect. Yes, shorts. It's the way to go. I love shorts too. And it's a great way for you to also lead into long form video and for them to get to know you. So as you take a look here at that left-hand side, that quick tip about shorts, you might want to go ahead and look at that after our session today. And I'm going to be talking about those opportunities with YouTube Shorts, because it's been a little over 2 years YouTube Shorts have existed. How are you using it in your strategy? If only 26% of people have a YouTube strategy, you can just imagine the lower amount of people that actually have a shorts strategy. So as we look at shorts, we know there are 50 billion views a day. We know that people are also creators. If you're a creator, they are maxing this out, because YouTube itself, YouTube AdSense, if you're a creator and you make money on your YouTube channel, you saw a cut. You saw that decline over the past few years, but that's increasing now on YouTube Shorts, which is a great answer for people, especially because a lot of people lost the ability when Threads came out, Instagram Threads, to get paid on their Instagram Reels like they were before. As soon as Threads launched, they took away the ability to get paid on Reels, and so a lot of people and creators are looking for opportunity here. I'm not going to go too much into the creator side of it unless somebody asks. I'm really going to focus on the small business side of it. What is so compelling about short form video? It's really psychology. We all love to just be able to see right away some quick information and to make some decisions. Understand, so Rebecca, this is an interesting study just because I'm a data geek and factoid, that if you remember Disney's Hercules, the movie Hercules, way back when it first launched. So before Hercules, we all were, and it's not that Disney's Hercules just did it, it's just that was at the cusp of when we all changed our attention span. And that is because beforehand we could handle longer form. I see people who watch 80s movies and they can go through all the credits and everything before the movie actually starts and they're fine. Watch a Gen Z watch an 80s movie with all the credits showing up and the production companies, and you'll lose interest in just a moment. So we do see and know that shift. But when Hercules came out, Hercules purposely made sure that every scene changed every 15 seconds. The scene changed every 15 seconds. It was the first movie documented where it was purposely changed every 15 seconds. And at that point, we were all into we think in 15 seconds mode. And that's just the way everything has operated since then. So it's been interesting to watch that, just the psychology of that. So we see people looking at the short form too. So you too, Rebecca, you too. So how you can leverage YouTube Shorts is if you align it with your brand. This is important. So this is the first place that people fail with YouTube Shorts. They're all excited and enamored about the trending music and people dancing and pointing at things, that they try to do that in their shorts. But then their long form video on their site is about, here's the 5 things you need to ask if you're looking at commercial property in Corpus Christi. All right, why is the pointing dancing at the YouTube short but here? So there's a disconnect. Whenever there's a disconnect in brand consistency, that actually builds distrust. So that's the number one thing that happens. I'm not saying you don't use shorts, but make sure they align with your brand voice. Your brand has to be consistent no matter the platform. You can customize it to the platform, but it has to be a consistent voice and a consistent feel. Also, quick tips. Make sure it's quick tips so you can share those bite-sized tips. Yes, you can repurpose your TikToks and Instagram Reels and stories for shorts. I highly encourage you to do that. I know a lot of people will say not to do that because it's a little bit tough. You have to take the watermark away, and don't expect that something that's viral on TikTok or very popular on Instagram is going to be popular in shorts. But with shorts, it's more excited about the engagement. Google measures everything in engagement, the good and the bad. As long as there's engagement, Google sees that as something important and interesting. And remember, it's Google search that's working behind the YouTube search. So this is important for you to know. Are you putting things up and giving people the chance to say that, yes, I like this? Because not everybody's on TikTok and not everybody's on Instagram. Also, product highlights. You can do product highlights. You can do behind the scenes as well. You can feature your thumbnails. So if you're on a phone, you have the opportunity to select your thumbnails and find something that really entices people for your thumbnails when you do have your short uploaded. You can also put location tags. And I know I keep bringing up real estate. That's because somebody here in the group said they're in real estate. So that's why it's top of mind for me. Excuse me. But if there's another business or another industry that wants to give a shout out here in the chat, feel free to give that shout out. And I'll use you as my example too. But let's say you are in Corpus Christi, you're a real estate agent in Corpus Christi. So you can put location tags that it's just showing in the Corpus Christi area, and it really gets more promotion then. Also, you can do a remix of a current video that you have. So a short that you have, even with a long-term video, a long-form video, you can do a remix, and that gets some more visibility there. Secret too for realtors, just so that you know, and for location-based businesses, one of the best things that you can do is in any video, whether you use it for Google Business Profile, YouTube Shorts, or also for YouTube, is show a picture of your front door. There's a lot of favor in the algorithm for pictures of front doors because it's like you giving the idea and helping people see how to find your business if they're looking for it. And then, of course, analytics. We always need to make sure that we are measuring what we're doing, because if we're not measuring, we are not marketing. $1 or 1 minute spent that's not getting us closer to the bottom or lifting the bottom line or getting us closer to the goal is $1 or 1 minute spent too much. So we can post both shorts and long form video. We can use shorts to hook people as well. And again, that consistency, that brand consistency I bring up because that's the number one pitfall people run into. So when you are using shorts, you want to hook people immediately. What are the best hooks to use? And the most popular one, it's you won't believe, or this guy. So you won't believe this guy have a lot of favor in the algorithm right now. There's also the loop method. How many of you are familiar with the loop method? Let me know in the chat box if you're familiar with it. If you're not, I will go over that. You can also tell stories. Remember what I said about the 5-year-old storyline or the different kind of stories that we outlined here. You can use thumbnails that really draw them in. You want to keep it snappy, really consistent, okay, across. So the last two are that consistency coming in. So you're not familiar with the loop methods. Okay, so what the loop method is, a lot of people use this actually on Instagram Reels too. But what the loop method is you've put the first 9.6 seconds. So what you're doing is you're playing a video in the background, you're putting a quote up there, but only half the quote. For the first 9.6 seconds that people view it, that first part of the quote shows. So you're wondering, what's that second half? And then the last second, the very last second, you are going to show that last part of the quote. And then it ends. at 10.6 seconds. So at 9.6 seconds, they're just going to see this. It's just hanging there. And then at 9.6, you go, I mean, at 10, at the, yeah, 9.6, you drop that last quote and it runs till 10.6 and then you're done. What happens, and this is actually an Instagram story strategy that works really, really well in YouTube. I've seen it work so well. And it gets people to stop the scroll. They stop and look. They'll replay. So you get a lot of views. So all of a sudden you might have 20 more views because somebody's like, I didn't catch that last part. I didn't catch it. So they're rewatching it over and over again, which is now letting the algorithm know in both Instagram, when you do this on Instagram and when you do this in YouTube, that people like this stuff. So it shows it up higher in search and discovery. Make sense? That's the loop method. All right. So when you optimize your YouTube shorts, I don't have an example right here, but if you go into Instagram, you'll see people doing this. You'll see half those coming up, or even in the YouTube shorts, take a look at it. You'll see people doing this. And then I can definitely, let me see, I'm thinking probably in the follow-up, if you guys get a copy of this replay and the handouts, I can make sure that you actually see a copy, an example of what that looks like. In fact, let me do that right now real quick. I'm going to go up here. I'm going to put a link here because I know we are here with Del Mar College. Now you're going to see this. It's going to say get found in 5. Really, all I want you to do is put your email address there. You are going to get a free guide from me. That's not really what this is about, but this is so I can make sure I have your email address. Since you registered through Del Mar, I can have your email address and send out to you an example of a short. Plus, I can also send you this replay this afternoon too, and the handouts. If you didn't get the handout link for any reason or it didn't open up for you, I can take care of that there. Okay, so make sure you use that. I see some people putting their email address there, and I won't be able to save that, but you can use that link that I gave you, the bit.ly get found in 5. And since it is a bit.ly link, do know that capitalization it's sensitive, case sensitive, so keep it all lowercase. Okay, perfect. All right, so make your shorts short, 42 to 46 seconds, really seamless. You really want to make it action oriented. And when you end abruptly, this is also good. In addition to the loop strategy, ending abruptly is good because people wonder what's going on. Did I miss something? And they'll replay the video. Again, that's a signal to the algorithm something's going on. So you can use, and there's an interest here, so you can use this to drive your business goals in these ways. That's why I do want you to get a copy of today's slides, because a lot of these you can use as a checklist as you're putting together your actual YouTube strategy and YouTube short strategies. You also need to measure and refine. So this is what you want to measure, your engagement metrics. Find out whether people actually are only watching the first 10 seconds of your video, only half, or all the way through to the end. Start really putting together a plan and start uploading those, because once you start doing that and the algorithm realizes you're putting some stuff out there, it takes a while. It's not easy. Don't expect to become a YouTube short sensation in a moment or YouTube video sensation, because it takes a while since there's so many videos out there. But once there's interest in it, as long as you also, your descriptions and everything align with what somebody's searching for, so it's relevant to the person searching, now you have a great opportunity to show up higher there and be discovered. And the nice thing about YouTube videos is they have evergreen. From shorts to long form video, they have evergreen status, which means they stay forever and they're searchable compared to some of the socials where it's just a very limited time that you have. To learn more, right, you can go here, especially if you are a creator too, you want to take that deeper dive, you can go to youtube.com/YouTube creators to learn more about how you can be better at long form video. And also, if you want to do that for shorts, there's also a link there for shorts too. Okay? Yes, please send those questions to the Q&A box. Now I'll do a quick run through before I run into Q&A that there are YouTube ads. If you've not gone to this before to see YouTube ads, it's a great way for you to highlight your brand and your videos on maybe somebody who is playing videos or has content that your customers are interested in. Okay, there are different kinds of ads too within YouTube ads, bite-sized, snackable, and more of the longer form, which is the meal. So the bumper ads are at the bumper. They're 6 seconds each side. Non-skippable means that you can't skip past it, so you're going to have to watch that video. Outstream ads are ads that are just happening outside of actually the stream. So it might be on that right-hand side of YouTube if you're on a desktop or laptop. In-feed ads are right there as you're scrolling and looking at the different videos. It may come in between a couple of the videos that you're looking at. And a skippable in-stream ad means that it gives you the chance to skip that ad. The reason I bring all this up is because I like to tell people that you have a lot of time with 6 seconds. You may not think you do, but you do. And you can put, if you put in your video, your brand, purpose, your logo, your branding up front in a video, even when you use a skippable ad. So a skippable ad means that they can skip it, which means it plays for the first 6 to 8 seconds. And if they skip it, then you don't get charged. In YouTube ads, you are charged when somebody views it, and a skippable ad, if they skip it, you are not charged. But while you're not charged for that, they still see 6 to 8 seconds about your brand. So you can put a lot there in skippable in-stream brands and stream ads. They can see a lot. Now, if they go all the way to watch it to the 30 seconds, now you will be charged, but make sure everything is up front in the first 5 seconds, because it is, you got five, actually 6 to 8 seconds to get there. If you use a skippable ad, then you also get at no charge this companion banner to the right that'll hang out there as people are searching to remind them that they want to buy from you or do business with you. Okay? So the next step, if you haven't created your channel, do so. Create and upload videos, test it out, test where you feel comfortable, craft your story, know who your star is, and then you can start looking at additional resources. You might decide, you know what, I don't want to do this with my phone. I want a whole full production thing going on, so you want to work with some professionals. I encourage you to get with SCORE and get with the Del Mar SBDC to find out who they know locally, who you could work with. If you don't have anybody or they don't have anybody that you can connect with locally, this is a great link to save, because now you can find out who nationwide you might be able to work with, who can help you with creating a video ad or even help you with creating and managing your video channel. Okay? But the big thing here is to look what needs to be applied, right? Because I've shared a lot of good factoids with you today, and there are many things that may be neat and EAT to know. But you need to decide what you needed to know and what you need to apply, because knowledge is not powerful until it's applied. Now, I am ready to answer questions, everybody. So I will go to the Q&A. You're very welcome, Rebecca. I think the world of SCORE. Hey, if we can learn from other people's experience, imagine you don't have to spend the time, the mental and the emotional strength to do that. You can learn from other people's experience. It's more valuable than other people's money. So absolutely, Rebecca, I'm going to shout out SCORE every single time, because here people either they've walked through what you've already done, or they've seen what happens from that, and they can share that perspective that you may not have when you're right in the middle of it or making decisions about it. Absolutely. Right. Work smarter. Exactly. So any questions at all? You do see my review QR code and review link. I would appreciate a review, but you don't have to. I just always like to model what I teach. When you've provided good service, ask for a review. Get into that habit, everybody. That's how you build your reviews, because people will want to give good reviews, but they don't remember. And then the ping on the phone comes, that text message comes in, and they're done. They're on to the next thing, right? So what questions do you have? Because I do see Q&A there. And let me see, can I, there we go. How much is the 6-second ad? Oh, Gary, that really, the bumper ad, that's really going to depend on your industry. But the good thing is you can go, so you do know you can use Google Ads for free to do research, right? So if you go to Google Ads, I think it's g.co/ads, but go to Google Ads, and in Google Ads is where you manage your YouTube ads. So you don't even have to put your credit card in to start a Google ad account. It will ping you several times and bug you about that. Just hit skip, ignore it. You're going to go to the keyword planner. There's a free keyword planner. So I know a lot of people pay for keyword planners, but there's one built in for free to use without putting any payment into your Google ad account. And now you'll go in there and it will show you, like if you say, okay, I want to do a YouTube campaign, it'll show you the volume of people that are searching. You can even put your website address there, and it'll show you what keywords people are already promoting, either in YouTube, Google Ads, or both. So it'll show you that and exactly what the cost per click or the cost per view is, or cost per millions of views, CPM. Okay, so you'll be able to see that. I have a suggestion on screen. I like the AF screens. You could have larger shots of info. Oh yes, absolutely. That's why I do bring them in front and center. That's actually that I don't have control over because I'm not the actual host to be able to put the other screen away. So I don't have any control over that over my own personal screen. That would be on the Zoom side. Okay, but good feedback, Stephanie. So you can know that you can put what's known on as focus mode. So when I'm leading a presentation and I'm in charge of Zoom, you put focus mode on, and that will make the smaller me go away. Okay, that way we're not duplicating because some people get distracted by that. Okay. But great suggestion, Cindy. I would never have thought to bring that up to Stephanie had you not asked that. So see, all good. We're all learning together. All right, let me see here. Keywords or hashtags? Both, or is one better? Hashtags are keywords in YouTube. Use the hashtag shorts to make sure YouTube sees that it's a short because Google's algorithm is favoring hashtag shorts. So do be sure to do that. But they both operate the same. Whether you put keywords in your description or you use shorts, they operate and they have the same weight. It's just I know the hashtag shorts in YouTube Shorts does get a ton more favor than any other hashtag or keyword within Google. Google is putting a lot of effort into that first and foremost. Now you do see a URL here to my left. If you do want to ask me any questions outside of here, this is how you can reach me to do that. You're welcome to do that. I hope that's helpful to you. Other questions, everybody? Sure. Thank you. Thank you.